Good afternoon, everyone. For such a time as this, I'm Kevin Thiessen, one of the pastors at Central Baptist Church, and my thought for today is embedded in Hebrews 5:14. It says this, "But solid food is for the mature, for those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil." One of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is that journey that we all have, and that is intended for each and every one of us to move from immaturity to maturity. In the Bible, one of the visuals that is used is moving from milk, something that would be for infants, to solid food, something that you would have as adults. And that this is a necessary part of our journey, and that there are important implications and outcomes of that maturity. But to gain that, Hebrews 5:14 gives us a couple things. It gives us training. This is something that happens through constant practice. And that constant practice are things like our typical disciplines, like spending time in God's Word, spending time in prayer, spending time in small groups with others, discussing God's Word, working through the implications of God's Word and the impact on our everyday life, and passing it on to others. How do we grow in discernment? We grow through this constant practice. We go through living it out. And the outcome of that is being able to distinguish between good and evil, being able to distinguish between right and wrong. Around this verse in Hebrews, you will see that each and every one of us who is a follower of Jesus is called to pass this on, to teach this to others. That action of passing it on is not just for a specialized group. And one of the best ways to grow in your faith is to share it with others. Right now, we have a Christianity Explored class. We've got about 10 students that are in the class. We've got some who are curious about faith, skeptical about faith. We have some who are brand new to faith and are just sort of laying the bedrock of their faith. And we have some who are more mature in their faith, but are either helping out and helping others to learn about and to find Jesus Christ, and others who are just wanting to come back to the basics and regain the essentials of the Christian faith. And so to do that, we go through the book of Mark. We look at the essential parts of the Christian faith, and we look at all the evidence for who Jesus is, what Jesus said and did, and why that's important. And then if that evidence is enough for people, what it looks like to trust and follow Jesus and give your life to Jesus. One of the things that also happened this week is Rabbi Zacharias, a good friend of our church. His ministry is one that we've partnered with for a long time. He has advanced stages of cancer, and it is looking like he may be in his last days. We're praying for a miracle, but it's not looking too good. But one of the bedrock verses of that ministry is 1 Peter 3:15. And it says, "But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord, and always be prepared to give an answer for the hope that you have, and the reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect." So in that desire to mature, in that desire to gain and increase in discernment, we also want to pass it on. That's one of the best ways for us to grow in our faith. But as we pass on our faith, do this with gentleness and respect. I hope this is an encouragement to you. I hope that you will put that into practice and pass your faith on to others. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon.